Plan Commission. Please rise and join me with for the pledge. Mrs. Moore-Smith, would you please call the roll?
Roger Brock.
Here.
Michael Dye.
Here.
Ronald Sims.
Here.
William Hutton.
Here.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Here.
Dan Spitali. Thomas Daverton. Marcus Taylor.
Here.
Dean Button.
Here.
Dan Spitali. 9 present. We have a quorum.
Item 3 on the agenda is the election of officers for 2025. The chair would entertain a motion for the president of the Plan Commission.
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Dean Button for president for 2025.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded. Nominations for president. Any other nominations for president? I gladly accept the nomination. I guess we'll do a voice vote. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
Our attorney, are we allowed to do a voice vote on? We have.
No.
Right, that's what I thought.
So can we the position for president of the Land Commission, please?
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ronald Sims.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton. Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed.
Thank you. Chair.
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Mr. Hutton for vice president of the board.
It's been moved by Commissioner by Commissioner Taylor for vice president as Mr. Hutton. Mr. Hutton?
I accept.
Mr. Hutton accepts the nomination. We have a roll call vote for, I'm sorry, is there any other nominations for vice president? Okay, can we get a roll? Mr. Hutton as vice president.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ronald Sims.
Yes.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed.
Appoint a member of the Plan Commission to the board 2025. Is there anyone wishing to nominate for the appointment to the BZA from Plan Commission?
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Bill Hutton to the Plan Commission as the appointment from, to the BZA as our appointment from the Plan Commission for 2025.
Second?
It's been moved by Commissioner Dye, properly seconded by Councilman Spitali. Are you
Yes, sir. Thank you.
wonderful? Is there any other nominees for appointment of Plan Commission, from the Plan Commission to the BZA? Any other? Hearing none, roll call. Hutton as our the BZA.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ronald Sims.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes. Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed.
Congratulations to the Venerable and his appointment to the BZA, and we're grateful for your participation in that. Next, 4 minutes of November 19th, 2024. You've received a copy in your packet for this evening's meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve?
Thank
I
you.
second.
It's been properly seconded by Commissioner Hutton. The meeting November 4, is there any discussion? Any discussion? Roll.
Roger Brock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ronald Sims.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton.
Yes.
Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed.
On Zoom.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda. Should have received a copy in your packet. Is there a motion to approve said minutes?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Moved by Commissioner Dodd, Commissioner Taylor to approve 16th, 2024. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ronald Sims.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton. Taylor.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed.
Thank you, and thank you for preparing those minutes.
There.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. First agenda 6 is CP-0 petition 9/11 open facilities to our and 59 odd numbers to 1 and 2 district and 15 5919 963 from S1 single family residential to single family district and 13 from S1 open recreational facilities district to R1U to open in order to with single family duplexes uses within the city county Indiana. I'd ask the notification of this petition have been met.
Yes, they have.
Thank you. If there's any to act as both and representing staff, is there any objection? Any objection? Seeing none, that your petition.
For CP 2501, I am representing the Department of Redevelopment. That is the owner of the property that is commonly known as Memorial Park. And its current address is 1301 Highland Street. You should remember in December that we had discussion of the subdivision of that area into the residential lots, the multifamily senior facility lots, the duplexes, and then the detention and open space areas. So it is currently zoned S1, Open Space and Recreational Facilities District. The petition and ordinance associated with it is to rezone the property into the constituent parts. This is a little complex in its writing based on our previous has chosen this way to avoid having 4 separate ordinances. And so it gets a little complicated. The these documents are the addresses from the subdivision plat for all of the lots that are now officially created and are shown in the Lake County GIS system. Lot which is designated for the senior facility. Again, it's currently S1. That property to R4, which is high-density residential. Lots 2 through 9, 8 lots there, 2 through 9. It is proposed to be rezoned to R2, which is 1 and 2 family residential district. The proposal for duplexes on the 8 lots. The common wall of the duplex will be on the common property line between the 2 lots. The lots 10 through 37 are the single family. The proposal is to rezone it from S1 open space and recreational facility districts, and then there's a portion that's already R1U, urban single-family residential district. To make the zoning consistent, then all of it will be R1U. The third area is 1339 Highland Street. This is one of the 4 open space areas. Open space areas are detention basins. One is actually a path area. This particular question is located at the southeastern portion of the property. It is also a split zoning where a portion of it currently is 1U and the majority of it is S1. So the rezoning is to take that 2 zoning district classifications and make it into a single classification. In your packet, you should have a graphic that represents by color where the rezonings are occurring. And the final zoning is the final zoning, the R1U is the final zoning, and the S1 is the final zoning. And that is superimposed on the lot layouts. So you have a visual of what this multifaceted rezoning ordinance document is actually trying to say. And you also see on there that I've written some of what the adjacent zoning districts are. I did neglect to point out that the property on the east is I2 zoned. Are there any questions from the presentation?
Questions from the committee?
I do. I did not. The property to the east is zoned what?
I2.
Thank you.
Question? Yes, Ms.
How many are there going to be there? How many will you have there?
How many?
Living space?
In the senior,
It's going to be one.
people will be in there.
At the moment, I don't recall that number, but it was, I think, somewhere around 100 units. But I can verify you and let you know.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Paulin as petitioner. Anything further, Mr. Paulin?
No, not from a presentation standpoint.
Thank you. At this take to solicit any to rezone commonly known as Memorial Park. Is there one in the audience, anyone speak on behalf of the petition? And please come forward if you could. And then state address for the record, please. I would ask that you confine your comments to the petition at hand, and give you at least 3 minutes to speak. Pardon? 3 minutes
Okay.
to speak. You know, given the nature of the comments or questions, we'll try to be free with that.
For the record, hi, Quincy Candy, recent resident over in that area right next to Memorial Park. I don't have any deep questions or whatnot, just with anything you are doing, as I assume this will turn private, I believe in the mailer we got, still remains one portion or parcel, I believe, that's still going to be a park. Having back there is nice, even though we are still close to the central Hammond Park area. And whatever general city planning things make the area still navigable, because I do know we have small whatnot, and I assume with an increase of foot traffic, we need more, I don't know, street areas or local parking, just to keep those things in mind. But I'm against the idea of putting more housing back there in general. The park's not very used much. That's all.
We'll see if we can address those comments when the public hearing's over, and either the petitioner or staff can respond to those.
Yeah, I mean, did you state your address?
Yes, my address is 6116 Noble Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone in the audience else wishing to speak? Anyone in the audience? Is there anyone who is attending online virtual media that wishes to comment on this petition? If so, please unmute yourself. Is there any here public hearing portion of the meeting? And I will call on for any other comments or responses related to the questions that were asked.
Yes. Just for clarity, in the subdivision plat that was discussed, there are 3 are detention based, and they would the time. There is one up by light, and also building is proposed. That will still going to be more passive recreational area. Okay. Plan Commission moved the street that are proposed, Ray Avenue and Noble Avenue. There are 50 feet. Standard area. And I believe those were your questions. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Anything further, Commissioner? Mr. Poland?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Any at this time? Okay. Mr. Poland, present the staff to the petition.
So as excellent presentation from the petitioner stated, the 4-part rezone parcels, each one the changes from the nation to the of areas, the rezoning of the areas. And again, parcel 1 is rezoned to R4. Parcel 2 is the duplex. R2, 3 single-family homes, that will go to R1U. The R would to the neighborhood is zoning, and then part so technically correct that the parcel 4 is all the same classification of S1. For several months, years, in order to develop the senior, to the extent that we know it, well, they through the program of the Indiana Community IHCDA, Indiana, because and the variances they were not able in getting the project approved, getting all of the eventually we will work and that will the development round of opportunity. Along with that, the single-family houses, city will things be made available to this is going was handled at Clark, but the date yet. With this kind of four-part zoning, avoid having mission for this council with a favorable, and if the request that this report is adopted by the Plan Commission as preliminary.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Questions for Mr. Poland? Seeing none, the chair, the staff recommendation is shorter than the petition name itself.
Mr. President, I'd like to make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner Dye, seconded by Commissioner Kazmir. Forward this petition to the City Council for with a. Is there any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Guy.
Yes.
Ronald Sims.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton. Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
Ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Chair would also the staff report as preliminary finding of fact.
Mr. President, I'd like to make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Dye. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. It's been moved and properly adopt the staff report as a preliminary finding of fact. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yes.
Ronald Sims. William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali.
Yes.
Thomas Daverton. Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button. Ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you to the commissioners. Next, 25, Hammond Plan Commission to review declaratory resolution. The Hammond Redevelopment Commission regarding the City Hall redevelopment and an area as the for the purpose of 7 50-8. Ask if the notification requirements for the petition have been met.
Yes, they were.
Thank you very much. Mr. Poland will be acting as both the petitioner and objection, but Mr. Poland act in those capacities. Any objection? Seeing none, please proceed, Mr. Poland.
The action tonight, the Plan Commission is of 4 steps in the creation of redevelopment. The declaratory resolution at the redevelopment commission stage, the plan is determined whether or not the plan is in compliance with the comprehensive land use plan. The 3rd step is the city council with a resolution confirming, acknowledging the plan commission's action. And then the 4th step is a confirmation and a public hearing by the redevelopment commission. And at that, the subsequent filings, then the area is a redevelopment. In this case, it's also going to be an allocation area. It would be establishing, passed in December, that determined that the base year for the allocation calculations is 2024. It's the date of that declaratory resolution is what triggers that or sets that, even though our actions are coming in 2025. Within the plan, there's a standard language that, of course, is in all of our redevelopment plans. There is land use regulations. There are some very general design guidelines just to kind of help support and enhance and go a little bit above the zoning ordinance to kind of direct what kind of development is going to happen in this area. So for clarity purposes, the redevelopment is the Calumet Avenue corridor. It starts just north of 165th Street, meaning the CVS and the BP station are already currently in a different redevelopment district. And then it goes up to 150th Street. If you remember, also last year was action taken in regards to property on the east side of Calumet Avenue around Kenwood and, Conkey, Kenwood and Conkey, in which certain properties that used to be in the East Hammond urban renewal area were removed from that area, and that was in anticipation that those properties will be in the City Hall redevelopment area. Even within the plan, the redevelopment plan, the describing the corridor as a north area, a south area, and a central area. That's partially for organizational purposes. It doesn't really have any, differences in the plan specifically, but it is reflective of trying to know that there's 3 general different types of character that is in this part of Calumet Avenue. So the southern part closer to the expressway, so there's still, some impacts from that traffic that's coming from the expressway. The central portion is closer to downtown in some of the residential areas, so it has a little bit different character. And then the northern part around Michigan Street, Hoffman Street, you can see that there are some existing light industrial facilities there. So this is kind of a mix of, that area is more of a mix of commercial and industrial, the proximity of residential. So there's a little bit of a character difference in that whole corridor. Are there any questions about the plan?
Questions from the commissioners to the petitioner? Seeing none, please proceed, Mr. Pullman.
Okay, well,
Nothing further?
nothing further.
Okay, thank you for your time. At this point in time, we open the hearing, seeking input on petition to the Plan Commission at this time. We'd ask if there's any wishing to speak on behalf of the petition as presented. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak? Anyone online wishing to speak relative to this petition? If you do, unmute yourself and you can address the Plan Commission. Seeing no comment, the chair closes the meeting. Mr. Paul, add relative to the petition.
Yes, I want to, after the redevelopment its declaratory resolution, and that was prepared at the time, the staff has taken quite some time working with the consultant to work through some technical revisions to the plan. I wouldn't really call them some technical things, just some, corrections in some of the language at different points. There's, some, I have to admit there was some spelling that, but really substantive that changed the clear intent was the meat of the plan that began at the redevelopment commission stage. So at this point is that is what is going to go through the rest of the approval, not the previous version at the declaratory stage. And it has been identified as in all of the appropriate language that this is the February version for technical or modified for technical modifications. Slight redundancy, but we're okay with that. This actually occurred once before. It did occur at the where there were technical corrections made at this stage. It's
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Questions from? Thank you. Yes, at this point, from staff.
I was kind of sort of doing that. Okay. So I think I'll just go because there is I want it to be very clear as to what types of motions that the Plan Commission is being asked to do. For quite some time in the actions taken. So adopt a first motion to, 1, make a determination that the redevelopment plan for is in the 1990 land use plan and the 2003 North Hammond neighborhood plan. 2, adopt this report as 3, adopt resolution 2025, and 4, determine report as its final Plan Commission resolution 2025 Constitution's written order -16 Prens A. And then motion a 4 resolution to the county council with a favorable recommendation. So those are 2 separate motions, Mr. President and Plan Commission members.
Questions for Mr. Paul? Chair. and the 2003 report as its constitute the plan compliance with the City of Hammond. Parenthetical A.
Second.
Thank you, Kazmierzak, for the motion. By Commissioner Dunn. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call.
Roger Brown? Aye.
Yes.
William Hutton?
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak?
Yes.
Dan Spitali?
Yes.
Thomas Davenport? Marcus Taylor?
Yes.
Dean Button?
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Chair would further assess plan comment.
That motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Hutton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kazmierzak. Kazmierzak, sorry. It's been moved and properly. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brown?
Yes.
Michael Dye?
Yes.
Ronald Sims?
Yes.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak?
Yes.
Dan Spitali?
Yes.
Thomas Davenport?
Yeah.
0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you, Mrs. Moore-Smith. So ends new business. Next is there any correspondence? Just like to economic consultant that helped us through city allocation area is so nice to see you. Next up.
Anticipating having a commission meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Poe. Is there anyone in the audience? Oh, Mr. Bo. If you just sign.
I will sign in.
Thank you.
Very quickly, I don't want to be long, but I wanted to thank Brian for taking the time to go through a development plan that you all approved to ensure conformity in going through it line by make sure, and there were technical errors, modifications that needed to be made, which are always good to make rather than in the future. So recognize Brian and thank him for all his hard work to get this moving forward. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Bowditch. Any other hearing?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Any